What's up, y'all? It's your girl T Jakes, and welcome back to Life with God Ministries, where we do life with God. And if you're new here, we are still in our Welcome to the Valley series. I'm still in the valley, but I'm starting to see a way out. It is very, very sunny today. It's bright, all that good stuff. It's very hot. I live in the South. It's 91 degrees, but it's been a good day. It's been a good week. It's been a pretty good month, but we have a lot of things to unpack. I've got a lot of updates for y'all. So, welcome back. So, today is August the 10th, and my biggest update is that I got a job. And it's crazy because I had been panicking. Like, it was a slow panic, it was a sort of quieter panic than I would usually have, but I was still panicking on the inside, whether people around me knew it or not, because I knew that I was going to graduate college. And I was like, okay, I have 2 degrees and no job. I have no job offers. And I was just mass applying to jobs. I was doing that like during the last semester of my schooling. I was applying for jobs. During the summer, I was applying for jobs and I wasn't getting much feedback. The one job I got feedback from was a job. It was a business analyst, and I didn't go to school for that. I was just desperate one night, and it was 1 a.m. and I was like, well, I need to at least make some money. And they were like, oh, hey, let's set up an interview. And then I looked into what they wanted me to do, and I was like, this sounds so boring, and it's more sales than anything, so I wouldn't be making that much money. There wasn't like a baseline salary. It was just totally wrong. Anyways, it's August now. Like I said, I graduated. I walked the stage at commencement the first week of May. It was like May 2nd. And now today is August the 10th, and I start my job August 12th, which is this Monday. So I'm really, really excited about it. Um, the crazy part about this story is that God had allowed me to go through the summer, like enjoy my last summer. Um, and as his like last bit of my childhood, in a sense, God allowed me to enjoy that. And I didn't want to squander it because I knew that, after you graduate college, that summer really is your last summer, because every time after that I won't get a 2 month break. Like, there's no job unless you're in the film industry or maybe the music industry where you get 2 months of break. So I didn't want to squander that time, but I was still thinking, what am I going to do for money? I'm tired of babysitting. I'm babysitting all the time, and I'm having to drive to different places all the time. The hours are different, the pay is different per family. It's because I wasn't a nanny, I was babysitting. And it was a lot of work, but God really did his big thing. Like, I uh God really did it, honestly. So let me just tell you the story. Let's start from there. So during my spring semester of college, I had this teacher. Her name is Dr. Greer, and it was a 2000 level course, which is why I chose to take that class my senior year, because I was like, oh, this is going to be an easy class. My teacher, God bless her, she was very passionate about the course, about the coursework, and it was a very interesting class as well. And I actually learned things from class. The teachers that are passionate about the classes are the ones where I feel like you learn the most. Um, anyways, I participate because I'm a yapper, and she likes feedback. She likes to hear people, discuss in class. And so that's what I was doing. And whatever, by the favor of God, she submitted my information to be like shouted out on my school's website. And while this lady was interviewing me, the lady who would be shouting me out on my school's website and everything, for like a portfolio, I think they called it a commencement portfolio, which I had never heard of. She was asking me, well, what are your plans after college? Or are you going to do your master's? Or are you going into the workforce? And I was like, I'm just going to go into the workforce. I don't want to get my master's right after school. I don't even see myself getting my master's. We'll see how life goes, but I'm going to be going into the workforce. And she was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Like, do you have any job offers? And I was like, no, I don't have any job offers. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I just don't know. Like, and I hadn't graduated yet. This was before I had finished the course and everything, but it was about maybe it was maybe like 3 weeks before I was going to walk across the stage. And so I told her the industry I wanted to go into, and for privacy reasons, I'm not going to share that here, but I told her the industry I wanted to work in. And she was like, "Oh, I know someone. You should ask for an informational interview." And so I was like, "Okay, what is that?" So it's basically like a 15-minute interview where I asked this person, "Hey, my name is so and so. I'm interested in so and so. You do this and that. And do you mind if we chat for like 15 minutes?" And so the person agreed to it, ended up being like the VP over this industry. um, and so it my conversation with him lasted more than 15 minutes. It was actually an hour, because I don't know, there was just sort of like a connection, and we kind of had like a mutual understanding of, okay, like, this is what I want, this is what you do. Do you have any feedback? How did you get into this, and everything like that? And I learned a lot. I took a ton of notes, because it was a virtual meeting, so I was able to like jot down stuff that he was saying. It was just super helpful. Fast forward, he was like, let me know if you want to talk again. Like, let me know what you want. He was just very forthcoming about what he was able to do in his time, whether that be like mentor me or we just chat occasionally, like every 6 months, like whatever. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I would love to do like a follow up interview later. So we had spoken maybe twice. And on the second time, I mentioned that one time I shadowed my dermatologist 1 year because I wanted to be a dermatologist. I really just wanted 400K a year. It was I didn't really like the job, but I got an understanding of the day to day. And so he was like, "Oh, well, would you like to shadow me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love to do that." And I'm doing that. Anyways, it was my first time meeting him in person. And after it was done, like the shadowing was good. But after it was done, he was going to be out of town for a while. So I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I sent follow up emails to him and everybody in the office that I met. All the emails I could find, I sent out a follow up, and I sent a very thoughtful follow up, not like a, "Hey, thanks so much for having me," but I've sent like things that were detailed about conversation that only that person and I had. So it was a very personable email, I felt, at least. And so I had just been waiting because I was like, okay, I told my mom, when he comes back from being out of town, I'm going to reiterate that I'm looking for a job. And my mom kind of mentioned, like, okay, do that, but then after that, don't say anything because you don't want to sound like a pest. You don't want to seem like a pest. And then I realized, okay, he already knows I'm looking for a job. So why even send the email? So I didn't. I let it simmer and I just kept applying for jobs. I got a job offer from a firm that for the last 2 years I had been looking at. The last 2 years I wanted to work at this firm, and I had applied, and I got one interview opportunity, but I couldn't take the job during that time. And then this time they interviewed me, it went well, and I just had like a good feeling that they were going to offer me the job. Well, they did. They offered me a job. They offered me an internship, which would have been fine because it's like, okay, I don't have a job, and this still is within the industry and the realm of people I want to work in. It's in the area that I want to work in. So I'll take this as a win. Well, okay, maybe 3 days later, I got an email from the assistant of the person I had shadowed under, basically the person that was mentoring me, offering me a job opportunity that I didn't like. The details were very vague, but I just came in to the office and we had a conversation. Do you know that they offered me a job that wasn't even posted? A job that when he described it and his team described it, it was almost like an out of body experience, because it was like, I have been applying to all these other jobs just because I need money and I want to have a big girl job. And I got 2 bachelor's degrees and I just want to be an adult. I'm tired of going places and people ask me what I do, and I don't have an answer that I felt was good enough for me, because I thought that I was going to be somewhere different. Not that there's anything wrong with babysitting, but I just got tired of it, And they were like, "Is that something you'd be interested in?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, I would." It's almost like he kept me in mind. I didn't have to beg for it. I was polite. I showed up, and he brought me in, was like, "Hey, I have this opportunity coming up. We're going to try and get it posted as soon as we can. Are you interested?" Hello, like, yes. And oh my gosh, like, this job is such a blessing. I'm excited, first of all, to start it. I was so taken aback that I didn't tell many people. I told my mom, I told my brother. Those were the two people that knew about it the longest, because I was like, I'm not going to mess this up. I'm not going to tell anybody. That doesn't need to be told right away. I still haven't told a lot of people, and I start in 2 days, because I'm like, I will not have anyone ruin this for me. I won't have anyone curse me, none of that stuff. This is what God has for me. I know it. I'm excited, and I don't want to squander this by running my mouth, because it was very exciting. Everybody knew I was looking for a job. I was at the altar in church, had my specific prayer warrior. I have more than one, but I had the specific prayer warrior pray for me in church one time. I asked him to pray that I get a job, and what he prayed for was patience. And he prayed for that patience back in May. It's August. And honestly, when I heard him say, "God, we ask that you give Taylor patience," I opened my eyes, because I was like, that's not what I asked. That is not what I asked you for. But he did. He did give me the patience, and now here I am. And at the end of it, it's sort of the end of my, it's not the end of my journey, but it's the end of me having to look for a job. At the end, not the sun is out. At the end of it, I look back and I'm like, I didn't have to wait that long. It wasn't a year, it wasn't 6 months. It was like three. Basically, it was 3 months. And I just have to kick myself a little bit, because I can't believe that I was really tripping. I knew God was going to handle it, but I was like, "Lord, when and where? I'm applying to these jobs, and you're not telling me which jobs to apply to." Whole time he was like, "I got you. Just wait." Y'all. Like, I can't make this up. I'm still in awe of what God has done. In addition to a verse, I also want to share music. I love music. I'm someone who enjoys all kinds of genres. And so when God was calling me to, well, not calling me, but when God shifted my music taste, it took a lot of research and some digging to find artists that I liked, like just different artists, whether that was Christian contemporary music, or Christian rock, or Christian rap, Christian R&B, Christian lo-fi. Like, there are a lot of Christian subgenres, and I listen to them for encouragement. They're edifying, and I love them. So I would love to share some artists with you. And I hope that this helps. I hope that you can come back, listen to these artists, and feel encouraged. Know that you're not going through the same thing. Know that you're not going through this alone. And also, of course, read your Bible. Romans 8:28 is a phenomenal verse, which says, "All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose." And I believe that to be true. Um, I love the Lord, but what I always try to remember is that the Lord loves me more, and he loved me first. And because he loved me first, and because he loves me more, I am sort of his responsibility. Because I can't be trusted to do life alone, and I don't want to do life alone. But God is with me always, and he loves me, and he will not withhold good things from me, because he loves me. He's a good father, an excellent father. But when things don't look like they're turning around, God has always got his hand on me. And I'm choosing to believe that and stand on that. So Hope you're encouraged. I'm in awe of what God has done in me, with my life, the discipline. I mean, in these past 3 months, I have been so disciplined with my fitness routine that when I do miss, like today's Saturday, and I usually do a little bit, I'm usually a little bit more active because God has disciplined me so much that I'm like, I have to do it. Not just so I can look a certain way, because I definitely have a couple of dresses that I can't wait to fit, but for my health, because I told God I want to be healthy. I told God I want to be disciplined, and God heard me and He honored those requests, and He used them for His glory, because what I essentially will be doing is I will be meeting a lot of people, and in this world, looks do matter. First impressions matter, and I want to be as confident as I possibly can. And because God has been working on the inside of me this whole time, it just worked out perfectly. I'm so grateful. Honestly, I am beyond grateful. And the whole household is excited. The family that I was babysitting for last, they were excited for me, even though they knew I wouldn't be babysitting for them anymore. It's perfect. Like, it's just a great, amazing opportunity. And I'm covered. Not only is it a good job opportunity, it's a good career building opportunity, and I had the privilege of meeting the office beforehand, so I know who they are. I know who they are. I know what they're like, and they're genuinely nice people. They seem like helpful people, and they're people that are going to help me grow. They know that I'm just graduating, and they know I have a lot of things I need to learn, and they're willing and able. And that's what I wanted. That and some money. So I just wanted to share God's glory. I wanted to share my story, because in the midst of my loneliness episodes, really, I've only just filmed one episode and we're just going to keep it at that. But just in the valley with other things are changing. Um, my outlook is changing. Things are just shifting, and I wanted to share this aspect of the valley, where it's not like God goes silent on you. You don't know what's happening, but God is still moving. I am still not on the mountaintop. Like, I still have struggles every now and then, but God still covers me. God still cares about me, even when I am not 100%, and I'm never 100%. I have to remember, I'm never 100%. It's me who keeps thinking, okay, I have to be perfect, I have to be 100%. It's me who internalizes that idea that God only covers me when I'm at my best, when I'm doing everything right. And I've never done everything right, ever. I've never done everything right. But when you can show God that you're faithful and you're willing, you'll be amazed at what He does. Don't worry about being perfect. Perfection on this earth, you won't have it. Everything won't fall into place. Everything won't fall into place all at the same time. But God will work in your favor. When you are His, when you belong to Him, He will work things out. I couldn't believe this has never happened to me before, where someone offered me a job that wasn't posted. Someone came up with a job with me in mind. And he said that he had been thinking about this job for months, about 3 months. Guess how long ago May was? 3 months. So I am excited. I'm grateful. I'm prayerful. And I'm seeing a light at the end of this valley tunnel. And so I just wanted to encourage y'all. Thanks again for watching. I don't know what the next episode is going to be like until God puts it on my heart, but I really enjoy filming. I really enjoy speaking. I know it looks like I'm speaking to myself because I'm just looking at the camera, but I truly enjoy sharing my story, sharing this season of the valley and what God has done and what God is doing in my life. I mean, He's shifting my finances. God has taught me how to save my money. And because God taught me how to save my money, I was able to pay whew, a, a large sum of money today to get my car fixed, which would have been almost impossible before because I just didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to save. I didn't have the money to spend. But God has kept me, and I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more excited. Um, and I'm excited for other things that God has to come. So, thanks again for watching. It's your girl T Jakes, and thank you for being here with me in my Valley series. Have a great rest of your day.